Just two little questions in the assess. This is question 7. It's been given a grade B rating, that's why I'm doing it. It says the shapes X and Y are congruent, so we can't argue that. They're identical shape and size, all the corresponding lengths are the same, all the corresponding angles are identical, so they're identical in every way. Copy and complete, well, I've done that by cutting and pasting. Describe fully the single transformation that maps X onto Y. I like the wording, single transformation mapping X onto Y. Well, I'm going from X to Y. This has not really come out very well. Anyway, the Y is on the side there. I'm going from here to here. That's clearly a rotation of some sort. So that gets us a mark. Here's a rotation. And before I even have to use tracing paper, this length corresponds to that length there. And I hope you can see it's a 90-degree difference. Let's just try something different. That one corresponds to that one, and they're clearly 90 degrees apart, so to speak. So it's a rotation 90 degrees, and we've gone anti-clockwise in that direction. You can of course go 270 clockwise, but let's keep it simple. So it's a rotation of 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Now the center rotation is 1, 1. Again, get out your tracing paper, put your tracing paper across these entire arrangements here, stab it right there with your pencil, place it gently, and just turn the tracing paper in this direction and watch X map onto Y beautifully. So 3 marks, rotation 90 degrees anti-clockwise, that's 2 marks, about center, and it's 1, 1. And finally, this is to finish off this section. This is question 8, also grade B rated. Which of the shapes B, C and D are congruent to A? So this question is all about triangle A. We're looking to find triangles which are identical to A. So you're looking for the same base, the same height, the same lengths, all the rest of it. Now straight away, let's look at C. 2 units base, very good. What about the height of A? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What about the height of C? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So C is not congruent to A. It's not identical to A. B is easy to tell. 2 units across the base and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 units tall. So therefore B is congruent to A. And let's just try D. It's very hard to tell on this skewed page I've stuck onto this purple background here, but obviously if you're in class, if you measure this base as 2 units that are exactly the same as the 2 units there and there, you have to measure the height very, very carefully. And according to the answer book, in fact, D is congruent to A because it has the same base, same height, and these 2 hypotenuses, if you used to split this isosceles triangle in half, you get 2 hypotenuse there and there that correspond to this length and this length. Alright, so let me just make it absolutely clear. These lengths are identical, and if I just go for this one here, give it 3 little clicks, like so, 3 little marks. These are identical triangles, so I'm going to put a tick by B and triangle D as well. C, by virtue of its height, is out. Now, which of the shapes B, C and D are transformations of A? Well, clearly, if I've gone from A to B, I've transformed it from one position to another. It doesn't ask me to identify the translation. I could easily do that. In fact, let's do it now. I'm going to go from that point to that point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's 6 across, and 1, 2, 3, 4 down. So it's 6 minus 4. It doesn't ask me to do that. But if you're a congruent shape and you move from one position on a grid to another, then you must have undergone a certain transformation to do that. So from A to B is in fact a translation using the vector 6 minus 4. So B can be transformed from A, and also therefore D can be transformed from A, probably by a rotation of some sort. I don't think it's in line with a reflection. There could be a reflection up there, I can't really tell. It doesn't ask me to do that, and thankfully I don't have to do that. So explain, give an explanation for your answers. Okay, so how do I get from A to D? And I'll need the answer book for this one because I can't draw on the screen. What does it say here? Yeah, it just says B and D are the ones which can be transformed. Why? The sides and angles are the same length. Well, that's a very cheap and easy answer. Well, I've already mentioned that before, didn't I? Look, this side corresponds to that one, that corresponds to that one, the base corresponds to that one and that one, and the angles are identical as well. So how is it they can be transformed? It doesn't ask for an individual answer. So taking B and D collectively, they are congruent to A, comma, having identical corresponding sides and corresponding angles. Got a bit big there. Alright, so I'm happy with that. And that's transformations and congruence section 9.4 done. That's the assess done. Obviously the higher grade B parts I've tried to do for you. And that's that. And that's the end of section 9. And I'll bid you good night.